मेरा नाम साक्षी है और मैं ना एक मैन हेटर हूँ।
You had any bad experience ऐसे?
अरे डेफिनेटली जनरेशनल ट्रॉमा है मर्दों से मुझे तो।
So how do you feel looking at our panel today?
I genuinely feel all the men. Oh my god.
Feminism. I want you to notice your own reaction to that word. Did your chest tighten? Did your defense mechanism activate? Did you immediately start thinking of a specific kind of woman, rude, arrogant, unreasonable, and prepare yourself to resist whatever comes next? If yes, this video is exactly for you, and I need you to stay. Because what I'm going to tell you today is not an argument, it is a definition. Feminism means the advocacy of women's rights on the basis of equality of sexes. That's it. That's the definition of feminism from the Oxford Dictionary. Equal. Not superior, not dominant, not anti-man. Equal. And yet, something about that word makes grown men defensive, makes families uncomfortable, makes women themselves apologize for using it. Today, I want to understand why, because the psychology behind that reaction tells us everything about the system it's reacting to. Let me tell you why the word exists by showing you what it's responding to. India ranks 131st out of 148 countries in the World Economic Forum's Global Gender Gap Reports 2025. That's a drop of 2 places from the year before, and we are in the bottom 20 in the world. The average Indian man spends 287 minutes per day on employment-related activities. The average Indian woman, 71, because she spends 283 minutes per day on unpaid domestic and caregiving work. Work that doesn't appear in GDP, work that doesn't generate a pension, and work that makes everyone else's productive life around us possible. As of 2024, only 14.7% of seats in India's parliament are held by women. Only 14.7 in a country where women are 50% of the population. 18.4% of women aged 15 to 49 reported experiencing physical or sexual violence by a current or former intimate partner in the last 12 months alone. That's the reported figure. And India is in the bottom 5 globally in economic participation for women, worse than most of the world, with only Egypt, Sudan, Iran, and Pakistan performing worse. These are not feminist statistics. These are the government statistics, the UN statistics, World Economic Forum statistics. And this is the reality that feminism is a response to. Now, the real question. Why does a movement which is asking for equality generate such hostility? Let me give you 3 psychological reasons. They are uncomfortable, but they are real. Reason 1. Zero-sum thinking. When you have always had the 100% of the pie, sharing 50% of it feels like a loss. Men who have grown up in households where their opinion was default, their career was priority, their freedom was unquestioned, have been raised to experience male privilege, not as privilege, but as normal. When feminism asks for equality, it doesn't register as everyone gets more, it registers as I am getting less. This is not a character flaw. This is a cognitive distortion born from a system that never acknowledged its own skew. Reason 2. Identity threat. Patriarchy doesn't distribute resources unequally. It distributes identity unequally. Provider, protector, head of the family. These are not just roles. These are the foundation of how many men understand their own worth. And when a woman says, I can provide for myself, I don't need a protector, I am the head of my life, some men don't hear a woman claiming her autonomy. They hear, you are not needed. And that threat to identity is experienced same as a threat to physical safety. The brain cannot easily tell the difference, and so the response is defensive, sometimes hostile, and sometimes even violent. Reason 3. Misinterpretation, and this one is deliberate. Feminism has been systematically mischaracterized as man-hating, family-destroying, anti-culture extremism. And this misrepresentation is not accidental. Because as long as the word sounds threatening, as long as the women themselves distance from it, the status quo is protected. The system doesn't need to change if it can discredit the people asking to it. Wikipedia on feminism in India notes explicitly, feminism is often misunderstood by Indians as female domination rather than equality. Female domination of a movement that asks for equal. This is not a confusion, this is a strategy. In India, the conversation about feminism has various specific textures. We worship Kali, we worship Durga, we worship Saraswati, the goddess of power, destruction, and knowledge. We celebrate the divine feminine at a cosmic level. And in the same breath, a father refuses his daughter to go to the college in a different city. A mother-in-law monitors what her daughter-in-law wears. And a husband controls the bank account of a lady with a postgraduate degree. We have no contradiction about the goddess. The goddess is safely mythological. She doesn't ask for a salary. She doesn't refuse to cook. She doesn't say no. But the real woman who makes the same demands as Durga would is a problem. The Time Use Survey 2024 showed that Indian women spend 283 minutes per day on unpaid domestic work. Men spend 37. The gap is 246 minutes every single day. That's 4 hours. 4 hours of invisible labor. And then when a woman says, this is unequal and I want to change it, that is feminism. Not aggression, not revolution. Simple mathematics. Let me tell you what feminism asks for in plain language. It asks that a woman's career be treated as equally important as a man's. It asks that domestic work be shared, not delegated entirely to one person based on gender. It asks that a woman's body not be subjected to other people's decision in marriage, in healthcare, in public spaces. It asks that 14.7 representation in the parliament become something closer to 50. It asks that the 18.4% of women reporting intimate partner violence have access to real justice. None of these things require men to become less. They require system to become equal. Feminism is not about hating men. It is about building a world together where your daughter doesn't have to apologize for existing at a full capacity. Drop a comment, just one word. How do you define feminism? Let's see where people actually stand. Share this with someone who flinches at the word because they need it more than anybody. And subscribe to my channel for psychology, power and truth that takes courage to say out loud. They didn't hate the word. They hated what it would cost them if you understood it well.
Your Excellencies, UN Secretary General, President of the General Assembly, Executive Director of UN Women, and distinguished guests. Today, we are launching a campaign called He for She. I am reaching out to you because we need your help. We want to end gender inequality, and to do this, we need everyone involved. This is the first campaign of its kind at the UN. We want to try and galvanize as many men and boys as possible to be advocates for change. And we don't just want to talk about it. We want to try and make sure that it's tangible. I was appointed as Goodwill Ambassador for UN Women 6 months ago. And the more I've spoken about feminism, the more I have realized that fighting for women's rights has too often become synonymous with man-hating. If there is one thing I know for certain, it is that this has to stop. For the record, feminism, by definition, is the belief that men and women should have equal rights and opportunities. It is the theory of the political, economic, and social equality of the sexes. I started questioning gender-based assumptions a long time ago. When I was 8, I was confused being called bossy because I wanted to direct the plays that we would put on for our parents, but the boys were not. When at 14, I started to be sexualized by certain elements of the media. When at 15, my girlfriends started dropping out of their beloved sports teams because they didn't want to appear muscly. When at 18, my male friends were unable to express their feelings. I decided that I was a feminist, and this seemed uncomplicated to me. But my recent research has shown me that feminism has become an unpopular word.